Most people think poverty comes from bad luck. Some blame the economy. Others blame where they were born. But the Stoics believed something different. They believed your environment shapes your destiny. And one of the most dangerous environments is the wrong circle of friends. Because sometimes the people closest to you are the ones silently destroying your future, not with violence, not with hatred, but with habits, with conversations, with distractions, with comfort. And the worst part, they may not even realize they are doing it. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And your friends influence your thoughts more than almost anything else. If your circle normalizes laziness, you slowly become lazy. If they mock ambition, you slowly shrink your dreams. If they waste money, you begin to waste yours too. This is not hatred toward friends. This is awareness. Because Stoicism teaches one brutal truth. You cannot live a disciplined life surrounded by people addicted to chaos. Today, we're going to uncover how your friends can quietly keep you broke, and what the Stoics would advise you to do about it. Part 1. The cost of bad association. The Stoics understood something modern people ignore. Energy is contagious. Mindsets spread. Habits spread. Standards spread. If 5 people around you complain every day, eventually you start complaining too. If your circle spends every weekend drinking, gossiping, and escaping reality, discipline starts to feel strange. And this is how financial destruction begins, not with one giant mistake, but with small repeated influences. One friend convinces you to spend money carelessly. Another mocks your business idea. Another says, "Life is short, enjoy yourself." Another tells you, "You're doing too much." And suddenly, years pass. You have no savings, no growth, no discipline, no direction. The Stoic philosopher Seneca warned, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." Notice he didn't say entertain you, not comfort you, not distract you, improve you. Because every friendship is an investment. Some friendships pay wisdom, others pay destruction. Part 2. Friends who fear your growth. Sometimes your biggest obstacle isn't enemies. It's familiar people. People who knew you before your discipline, before your ambition, before your transformation. And when you begin changing, they become uncomfortable. Why? Because your growth reminds them of their stagnation. So they begin pulling you back down. Not directly, subtly. They laugh at your routines. They criticize your focus. They say, "You've changed." But what they really mean is, you no longer fit into the version of life that makes us comfortable. The Stoics believed courage often means standing alone, because growth is lonely before it becomes admired. At first, people call you obsessed. Later, they call you successful. Most people want your future, without accepting the sacrifices required to reach it. And if you stay around people who punish ambition, you slowly begin to betray your own potential. Part 3. The financial traps of your circle. Bad financial habits are rarely created alone. They are socially reinforced. Your friends normalize expensive lifestyles, impulsive spending, constant entertainment, financial irresponsibility, and eventually you start confusing appearance with success. You buy things to impress people who are also broke. The Stoics would call this slavery, because now your decisions are controlled by approval. Epictetus taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. But modern culture teaches the opposite. More clothes, more status, more showing off, more validation. And many friend groups survive entirely on comparison. Who bought the latest phone? Who spends the most in clubs? Who looks richest online? Meanwhile, real wealth stays invisible. Quiet investments, quiet discipline, quiet consistency. The rich future you want is often destroyed by the present. Lifestyle your circle celebrates. Part 4. Gossip destroys focus. Another way friends keep people broke is through endless gossip. Talking about other people's lives instead of building their own. Hours wasted discussing celebrities, relationships, drama, conflict, but never discussing ideas, skills, business, growth. Stoicism teaches that attention is life. Where your focus goes, your future follows. If your environment constantly distracts you, your goals slowly die from neglect. And many people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they cannot protect their attention. A distracted man can never build wealth, because wealth requires depth, patience, focus, repetition, and gossip destroys all four. Part 5. Comfortable friends create weak men. The Stoics believed comfort weakens character, and many friendships are built entirely around comfort. Comfortable routines, comfortable excuses, comfortable mediocrity. Nobody challenges each other. Nobody pushes growth. Nobody demands accountability. Everyone just survives together. But survival is not greatness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Real friends push you higher. They challenge your laziness. They support discipline. They inspire action. A weak circle makes discipline feel extreme. A strong circle makes discipline feel normal. And this alone can change your entire financial future. Part 6. Stoic wisdom for escaping this trap. So what would the Stoics advise? First, observe people honestly, not emotionally. Ask yourself, do these friendships help me grow? Do they encourage discipline? Do they inspire purpose? Do they respect my goals? Do I become stronger or weaker around them? Stoicism is about reality, not denial. Sometimes the truth hurts. Some people are entertainment for your present, but destruction for your future. Second, learn to be alone. Most people stay in toxic circles because they fear loneliness. But the Stoics mastered solitude, because solitude creates clarity. When you are alone, you think clearly. You hear your own mind. You rediscover purpose. You build discipline. Loneliness is dangerous, only when you don't know yourself. Third, build a circle based on values, not convenience. Seek people who respect discipline, talk about ideas, encourage growth, value consistency, inspire action. One ambitious friend can change your life. One disciplined mentor can save you years of suffering. Final message. At the end of life, your future will reflect the standards you tolerated. The Stoics understood this deeply. Your environment either sharpens you or weakens you. Your circle either builds your future or quietly destroys it. And sometimes the hardest truth is this: not everyone deserves permanent access to your energy. Protect your mind. Protect your discipline. Protect your future. Because wealth is not only built by hard work, it is also built by choosing the right people to walk beside you. And remember this Stoic truth: you become what you repeatedly surround yourself with. Choose wisely. Part 7. Friends who make you fear risk. One of the fastest ways to stay broke is to surround yourself with people who fear every opportunity. Every time you mention starting a business, learning a skill, investing in yourself, taking a calculated risk, they immediately respond with fear. What if it fails? What if you lose money? What if people laugh at you? And slowly, their fear becomes your fear. The Stoics never taught recklessness, but they also never worshipped safety. Seneca believed fear traps people in small lives. Most successful people were once criticized for trying something different, but average people often attack what they secretly fear attempting themselves. And if your circle constantly kills your courage, you will remain trapped in the same financial position year after year. Because wealth often requires uncomfortable decisions, new environments, new ideas, new sacrifices. A fearful circle creates a fearful future. Part 8. Friends who normalize procrastination. There are people who delay everything. They talk more than they act. Every year they say, next year will be different. But nothing changes. No discipline, no execution, no consistency. And if you stay around procrastinators long enough, you start becoming one too. The Stoics treated time as life itself. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that life is short, not to create panic, but urgency, because every wasted day steals future opportunities. Many people stay broke because they keep postponing the life they claim to want. They wait for motivation, perfect timing, confidence, easy conditions. But disciplined people act before they feel ready. Your environment matters because procrastination spreads socially. If everyone around you delays action, discipline starts feeling unnecessary. And slowly, your dreams become conversations instead of reality. Part 9. Friends who love appearing rich. Some people are obsessed with looking successful instead of becoming successful. They spend money they don't have to impress people who don't care. Designer clothes, expensive nights out, constant flexing online. But behind the image, there is stress, debt, pressure, financial instability. The Stoics believe true power is quiet. Real wealth often looks simple, because disciplined people understand something important. Every unnecessary expense steals freedom from your future. But if your friends constantly pressure you to keep up, you begin making emotional financial decisions. You buy to fit in. You spend to feel accepted. You chase appearances instead of ownership. And this cycle keeps millions trapped, not because they lack income, but because they lack restraint. Part 10. Friends who distract you from purpose. Some friendships survive entirely on distraction. Every day becomes scrolling, gossip, parties, pointless conversations, endless entertainment, and before you realize it, your life loses direction. Epictetus taught that a person must know what truly matters. Without purpose, you become vulnerable to every distraction. The modern world profits from distraction, and many people unknowingly help destroy each other's focus. A person without direction becomes easy to control, easy to manipulate, easy to delay, easy to keep average. But once you discover purpose, you begin protecting your time differently. You stop entertaining everything. You stop needing constant validation. You stop wasting energy on meaningless noise. Because purposeful people understand, attention is currency, and where you spend it determines your future. Part 11. The Stoic power of choosing your circle. At some point in life, every person faces a painful realization. Not everyone can come with you. Growth changes relationships. Discipline changes conversations. Purpose changes priorities. And sometimes you outgrow environments that once felt normal. That is part of evolution. The Stoics believed wisdom requires courage. And one of the greatest acts of courage is choosing a better environment, not out of arrogance, but out of survival. Because your future depends heavily on what you hear daily, what you tolerate daily, what behaviors your circle normalizes. Protect your ambition. Protect your peace. Protect your discipline. And never forget this. Some people will only understand your transformation after the results appear. Until then, they may misunderstand your distance. But the Stoics would tell you, it is better to walk alone toward purpose than to walk with crowds toward destruction.